it's Chris from CheckMyDesigns.com. Welcome to my design podcast, where we talk about everything from UX, UI, product design, crazy offer stories, and also how to improve your design process overall. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. This is episode 2. Yes, episode 2 of the Check My Designs podcast. Today we're going to get talking about cons for working with a startup, also how to navigate a hostile work environment, man. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. Number one, of working with a startup company, right? Let's go ahead and ask that one major question in the interview. And that is this company fully funded? Yes, man, I know it's a crazy question to ask. No, well, not even crazy, but it's the most self-explanatory question to ask if you're not fully funded or have enough money to pay your employees while you're hiring, right? But a lot of companies are not fully funded. A lot of companies are on their last dime and still would like to hire. Yes, man, a lot of companies will still like to hire. So another great question to ask a startup company is, what is the pay schedule like? Are we getting paid every week? Is it every other week? Some companies will try to sneak in a net 15 or a net 45 in the contract without you knowing. A lot of different verbiages, things like that. So you might want to go ahead and I would say, be keen to certain verbiages and things like that. Make sure you understand the contract, or make sure you ask every single question properly, especially when it comes to the pay frequency. What is the rate? And one of my main things is, hey, me coming in, what do you see me doing on an everyday for the next 3 months? Now, if their answer is a little bit shaky, then we may even be able to know that this may not be the job for me, or may not be the job for you, because that company may not even last long. Okay? What are the actual job duties? A lot of companies like to have a job posting, right? But then when you get into the job interview, they just start naming all kinds of random stuff that was not on the job post. So it's up to you to ask them, hey, I understand, I've read the job posting, right? I read it. I'm qualified for it. But I would like to know out of your mouth, what is the actual duties on it every day? Because I don't want to be in a predicament to where the job duties may change. So, which normally, if you're on a contract, they're always going to change, right? Or in today's day, they're going to change. But it's the interviewer's job to let the person know that, hey, here's what we're actually looking for. Because a lot of companies, especially a lot of these startup companies, they have like a preset job description. They might have robbed it off a different job post, or they just don't want to scare somebody away when it comes to applying for this job, because they know if somebody were to actually read the job posting and they put a buttload of stuff in there, people will be scared to even apply because they know something is up with this job posting, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it again. So a lot of companies, right, say this one precise thing. Oh, at this company, we wear a lot of hats. Now, if you come across a company that says they wear a lot of hats, just know that you will be underpaid for that position, okay? So a lot of these startup companies like to just get, like myself, I am a blanketed skilled person. So with that being said is my skill set have a broad skill set, right? So a lot of companies will try to use that to their advantage and pay you less while giving you more work. So please keep that in mind when it comes to the fact that, hey, we wear a lot of hats here. Okay, each hat costs money, right? So keep that in mind. Are you getting your true value for wearing all of these hats? Yes or no? A lot of companies really won't give you that value in the first place, right? Which for me, I like wearing a lot of hats, right? Because it allows me to use my broad skill set. But as long as it's recognized paper-wise, dollar-wise, that I am being appreciated, right? You can say you're happy to have me on board, or you can say, hey, Chris, great job. Great job means what I pay back. So that's how I, draw a correlation to me doing a good job, as if I either get a little bonus or you guys show me what I'm actually worth. You get what I'm saying? So those are like one of the main things about working with a startup company is the fact that, are we fully funded? Yes or no? What is the pay schedule? Okay, I'm wearing a lot of hats. Am I getting paid to do that? Right? And also, what are the actual job duties? out of the employer's mouth, right? A lot of startup companies do have a difficulty scaling the product because smaller companies tend to be on a harsh timeline, right? And they try to get past, or they try to, in this case, skip steps. Thing about it is, when you're designing a platform or a product, there's only so many steps that you can take without messing up the scalability of said product. So please keep that in mind when it comes to the fact that, hey, we need to list everything out. Say we have a features list, right? Release all features on this features list. We have every single diagram, things like that, flowchart, blah, blah, blah. We have all of that done. We need to think technically on the fact that, hey, what feature can we take out while still being able to scale this product? Because a lot of companies these days try to rush a product out, but don't realize, long story short, you cannot scale a product with the same thought of trying to roll a bowling ball through a straw. Perfect example, okay? So you need to be able to think with an open mind from that standpoint, and also, again, take what little we can take back when it comes to getting this product out here as an MVP, right? Some things may just have to be done, or a project in this case may have to just be pushed back, because if we don't do it a certain way, or perfect example, I work for a lot of these companies, and then we have a lot of these PMs, right? Me, I have a love-hate relationship with our project managers. Personally, they don't know what they're talking about, right? They're not the most technical person on the team. I really can care less. I'm the technical guy. I can do the front-end development, and I can do each and every piece of design work, period. So, two different levels, right? We have the product manager likes to give information on an as need to know basis, right? Which can also harm the scalability of the product, because they're not being completely honest with the developers or the design team. Me personally, I tell the truth, straight up. Here's what the business wants, and here's the steps that we have to take to get there. That's how you kind of try to fix the difficulty of scaling, especially with a startup company that just wants to do everything rapidly. But at the end of the day, everything cannot be done rapidly, right? We must have a serious game plan and know how to execute on said game plan. So it takes skilled people on the team, developers, designers, things like that have seen this problem before, and to say, hey, look, we're going into a major problem here. As long as you know that as the business, then so be it, right? It's only your job to just put it out there. And if they don't want to take your advice, forget it. Now, also, one of the main problems when it comes to working with a startup company is uneven leadership and management, right? Have you guys ever been through that uneven leadership and management? So recently just entered a contract. Now, you have the CEO and the CTO, okay? Both of these guys used to be fighting during the meeting while all the employees are on the call. Crazy, right? So now, as a employee in this case, or a contractor, whatever, I don't know who to listen to, because they both have two different ideas, but they're both fighting it was basically like a who is more manly type of thing, right? No, listen to me type of thing. So please keep in mind that management can also play a big part in a startup company, given the fact that, hey, it's not a lot of, hierarchy, or there's a lot of different personalities that you may have to manage. A lot of startup companies do not offer a lot of benefits and perks while working with the company, right? So a lot of established companies may have, 401k match, stock options, things like that. And off days, boom, boom, right? Everybody's happy with the benefit package. So when it comes to startup companies, you may have less off days. They might want you to work a whole lot more. So instead of your 40 hours, they will try to squeeze a 45 or 50-hour work week here and there for no apparent reason, because they're unorganized, right? Startups. Wear a lot of hats. Wear a lot of hats may work for the CEO, but if I'm not getting paid, it doesn't work for me, right? So please keep that in mind. If you're looking for some type of beneficial, a job with benefits and perks, startup companies may not be what you would like to work for. And a lack of structure and processes. So startup companies may not have a well-established process, right? So like say we're gathering notes, or they may not have a direct place to where you're inputting notes, or a direct process when it comes to, hey, this is how we, may do our research, or this is how we start a design file, right? I've worked for a lot of different startups, or even major companies really, that did not have a design library. And I had to create this design library by simultaneously doing research for the product and developing off that product just right away, right? Which doesn't make any sense. So it was like, for the most part, that has a lot of confusion, and doesn't allow the team in this case to be efficient, because, hey man, look, there's no design library, but the company still wants you to just design multiple different concepts, right? Which is all fine and dandy. But the point is, it can run a lot more efficient if we concentrate on a design guide to properly understand the actual product and to know where we would like to go with this product. So when it comes to working with startup companies, a lot of companies just want to get something out there. And you as a designer, or as a developer, you may be telling the company, hey, here's the pitfalls if we keep going forward this way. Now, the CEO, the CTO, things like that, or, the quote unquote director of the certain department may not care, because the business in this case just wants to see a product. Think about it is, when they just want to see a product, the product isn't what it could have been if we just take a step back to properly notate everything down, things like that, when it comes to from a process perspective, to how do we overall structure the new features, the product, or structure the design library, right? And also when it comes to working with, I would say, startup companies, there is a risk of failure. Yes, man, a risk of failure. I've been in a meeting one time, and the CEO mentioned that, hey, if this doesn't go right, the company will be closing down. And everybody was like, what? I just got here. Like, how the hell is this possible, right? So that's, kind of the scary things of, startup companies hire a lot of people just to get the project done, or the product done, then they fire a lot of people. So I've been a part of a lot of bad work environments in that case, to where it's like, hey, you're hired, or they have a job post for a full-time position. And then once they offer you the job, is only for a contract. Then you're like, hey, I thought this was a full-time position. Oh, man, look, we do this every 30 days, work 30 days good, gel with the team, and then we're going to convert you. That never really happens. So their goal is to get the product done as quickly as possible by hanging a job over your head of like, this is what it can be. So please keep that in mind. A lot of times working with these startup companies, you may find that actually being the case of a company just stringing you along because you have the hope of getting a full-time position, benefits, 401k, if you really care about the 401k part, or, stock options. So, and also when it comes to that, we have limited resources are part of a startup company. Startup companies will like to do things the cheapest way possible for the most gain, right? I'm talking about, I worked with the company, because you guys now know Figma charges for, a company, Figma charges for, a company membership now. The designers couldn't even create their own brand new design files. They were that cheap, right? They didn't want to get the enterprise level of Figma because they didn't want to pay for it. And it was like, how can we create multiple different pages if we can't even control Figma in the first place? Like, we're regular editors off a regular account. And it was just like, hey, we need to create another design file. We had to come to them for them to create take 15 to 20 minutes to even know how to create a design file because they did not want to pay. So that's one of the main things also when it comes to, working with a startup, man. Everything is not the best. You may find a couple gems here and there. Working with a startup, you become a director or a VP, and then the team blossoms and grows, right? But remember, that is far and in between, okay? A lot of these startups are just janky companies. And yeah, man, if you can have a bad enterprise company and have a bad startup company. Which company would like to work for? They're both bad companies, but one is more established. One, you know you're going to get paid. And the other one, you know that also there was some type of structure. Give it bad or not, there is still some type of structure that you can abide by, right? So we're going to go ahead and pivot the conversation on to how to navigate a hostile work environment. Yeah, man, how are we going to navigate this hostile work environment? Man, I hate working for hostile work environments. I have been in that predicament a lot, and yeah, a lot in my career, like for real. Okay, it's really a bunch of BS. But number one, we're going to start off with documenting everything. Okay, you're going to keep a record of all incidents, times, dates, everything. And when it comes to that, when I was younger, I didn't really used to track a lot of this information, and it kind of like came back to bite me, because when you go to EEOC, you know, and talk to the EEOC about these situations, they're looking for dates, times, incidents. Do you have any, recordings, things like that? See, in Nevada, we are a one-party state, which means I can record you without you even knowing, because I am the one party not consent to you being recorded. That's how it works. Now I know that. But, I've been in that predicament to where it's like, hey, here's all my documentation. And just to let you guys know, even if you document everything, remember this, especially in Vegas, HR is not for you. It's for the company to protect them from you. That is in Vegas, Las Vegas HR, especially in casinos, right? You have a problem in HR, they look at you, oh, he has a problem. Okay. Oh, he must don't know. This is what we do here. You will be let go. Period. And when it comes to, if you're looking to seek support, hopefully you can find a decent employee or somebody on the management type of level to seek support when it comes to how to navigate, said problems, become some type of, you can look for a mentor in this case to help you throughout the company's processes, because the company, one, has been there forever. Two, is the work environment really going to change? I don't think so. And if it does, there has to be something major to actually go on, and not just regular passive aggressive attitudes, right? But it may be hard to also keep your professionalism throughout this person, or throughout this hostile work environment. But if you do not, they will use that against you. Okay, so when it comes to navigating hostile work environment, you never know, they're steady building a case against you, right? They're building a case. Every little thing that you do or don't do is a problem, right? So if you don't, I had somebody tell me, Chris, you don't smile enough on the meetings. What? Like, so you want me to be big watermelon face and just be cheesing? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. You don't smile on every damn meeting either. Okay. I've had an example, right? I have somebody at this, contractor just ended and everything, say to me, I noticed that you have your mic off during meetings. I'm not the one that's talking, so that's why my mic is off. See how it's just stuff like that, or, it's just stuff like that they do to just poke at you, right? So you must be, keen to it and know how to just either brush it off or just keep on, at the end of the day, keep on pushing, because don't let anybody mess up your success. Now, you may not be successful in that. Well, you may have been successful in that role that you were doing, but at the end of the day, a lot of people in the design, on the design side or coding side, are really, really jealous, right? Because when somebody's smarter than you or somebody's better than you. And I'm just that guy. You know what I'm saying? For real. So at the end of the day, it's best just to take care of yourself, stay to yourself, especially when you have that quote unquote hostile work environment. Because at the end of the day, man, put it like this. If you stay to yourself in a hostile work environment, they're still going to say, why are you saying to yourself? That's how passive aggressive they are. Right. Or, with the microaggressions is the word I was looking for earlier. So know when to escalate a matter and also explore different opportunities. When I say explore different opportunities, if you're working in a hostile work environment, it's best for you to get out that work environment as soon as possible. So go ahead and mass apply everywhere. We're talking about 200-300 jobs, 200-300 applications a week. We're going to put those in because it's time for us to leave this bad work environment. Now, you can also seek legal advice, if it gets to that level. Most likely, it probably will, right? So just keep on, I would say, yeah, man. I know navigating a hostile work environment is also stressful, but at the end of the day, just keep on keeping on, right? Sometimes you got to just push through and persevere. You get what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to, dealing with bad people at the end of the day. So passive aggressive people is one of my main things I hate, and microaggressions, for real. Like, I'm the type of person, I come up to your desk. Hey, do we have a problem? Do we have a problem? If so, let's go ahead and talk about it, right? But then you will be marked as aggressive. See what they do to you? So they passive aggressive, right? Which is like, oh my God. So a lot of these people in these offices like to they're the glass house person, right? Or, throw something, hide your hand. So just be keen on stuff like that. And yeah, man, I hope this was a big help for you guys when it comes to navigating a hostile work environment. So let's go ahead and rehash everything, document everything, assess the situation, seek support, follow companies and follow company procedures, go ahead and educate yourself on those. We're going to go ahead and remain professional and confront the issue directly, if possible, right? Take care of yourself, man. And also know when to escalate the actual problem. Explore those brand new job opportunities, because you will be looking for a brand new job, because we're going to get you out of this bad situation. And also go look up some legal advice. Now, this is my legal advice, right? Because I'm not a lawyer, but go ahead and look up legal advice, because it may be that time to go ahead and put that proper paperwork in. Thank you guys for watching, episode 2 of the Check My Designs podcast. This podcast today was about cons working with a startup company and how to navigate a hostile work environment, man. What else do we have? If you guys have any questions that you would like to ask me, please put them in the comments, and I will be making videos off the questions that you guys ask me, right? Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching again. You can go to CheckMyDesigns.com for all your graphic design and app needs. CheckMyDesigns.com, man. Damn right.